Hello everyone, how are you? In the previous lecture or in the previous videos, we create a user, Ahmed92, and then join the computer, the client to the server, to the domain controller. Join the client Windows 7 to the domain controller in the server. And we create a user and we log in by this user. You can just log in now using Ahmed92. But we said why we're using the domain controller, why we join the computers to the domain controller. We said before we make that or the domain controller and Active Directory using for security and authorization. I mean by authorization, there is no user, there is no one can access this user here, this computer Windows 7 in this network without username and password from the server. I mean just the user or those users who authorized from the server, from the administrator, can access or log into the server or to the computer, to the client here. Just those users those have a username and password. This is called authorization. And also for security. Now the user after log into the computer, I can restrict the user. I can add the policies and rules to control the user. For example, I can prevent him to using control panel, prevent him to working with the command line, prevent him to using the flash memory or CD-ROM, and I can change the background for the user and restrict the user and add the many rules or group policy or implement many group policy to the user on this user. I can prevent him to using the computer. I can prevent him to change the password. I can enforce him to add a new password and so on. So now I want to implement like this. So now I will access the Ahmed. Ahmed now is a member of the domain, and then is the Jihan 2020 login. Now go to the server, and from the server I want to control Ahmed. The first thing I can control the user from the Active Directory. Now I can go to the Ahmed, double click on the Ahmed and account, and from here I can determine the login hour. For example, I can prevent him to using the computer in the time from 2 or from 12 until 10, from 12 p.m. to the 11 p.m. or a.m. and so on. I can work with this. And also, for example, I can log into, now Ahmed can access all the computer with the credential, with the Ahmed and CSD Jihan 2020 with the username and password. I can just prevent him to using, I can just enforce him just using the following computer. For example, Usama or any computer, I can just type the name of the computer here. Also, I can, from here, I can enforce him to change the password at the login. Or he cannot access or change the password, or password never expired. And I can do everything from here. I can do many things from here. I can even, account is disabled. I can make the account disabled. Can disable the account. For example, just click here, for example, and apply and OK for Ahmed. Now just go to the Ahmed with the client and switch user or log off and log in at insert. Now I want to access Ahmed now. CSD Jihan 2020. It will just take a time. Try again, because take a time to implement the rules. Log off or switch user. Control Alt and insert. Now CSD again Jihan 2020. Now you can see your account has been disabled. Please see your system administrator. The user now should call the system administrator to active the account, this account again. Just from here, they use the admin, go to the server, go to the Ahmed, go to the account, and then just uncheck. Account is disabled. Now I want to make it enable or active the account. Just click here and apply and OK. Now after that, if you try again, is the Jihan 2020. This is for security or for authorization. For that, we're using the domain controller. Also, we can implement a group policy. Now go to the tools and we have a group policy management. I want to implement some group policy on the Ahmed. Ahmed in the CS organizational unit. So go to the CS organizational unit here, and I want to create a group policy for the CS. And now, for example, I want to prevent him to using the control panel. I want to prevent him to using the command line or whatever. For example, control panel. Just for example, okay. See here, GPO with that name already exists. Choose another name. The cPanels already exist. I want to choose another name because the name of the GPO or group policy object should be a unique. So now, for example, 2. And okay. After that, go to it, edit, right click and edit. Now I want to prevent him to using the control panel. So just very easy. User configuration, policies, administrator template, control panel, and then prohibit access to control panel and PC setting. Double click and enable. We said if it is not configured, that means it is depend to the configuration of the local computer of the Windows 7 here. In the Windows 7, if I make it in the Windows 7, the group policy, if I make it enable to the user to enable user, if I enable user to access the control panel, that mean will be still enabled. If I disabled from the local computer, will be disabled. That mean not configured. But if I enabled here, the user will enforce to enable the control panel. If I disabled here, the user will enforce to disable. Now enable, that mean what? That mean I enable this policy or this rule. That means I prevent user to access the control panel. Apply and OK. Now we said you can restart to implement this or to download the group policy, or just from the run or CMD, just write GP update. That means group policy update and OK. And just waiting for some seconds. Successfully, user policy update has completed successfully. So now from here you cannot see the control panel. If you try find the control panel from here, control panel, click on it, you can see the operation. The operation has been cancelled due to restriction in effect on this computer. Please contact your system administrator. Now if you contact the system administrator can again from here and disabled, or just go here in this group, this here, right click, you can see link enabled. Just click again, will disable from the CS. Now if you go here again, run GP update, click. After that will be you can access the control panel. See, now I can access the control panel from here. Also we talk in the document, I upload the document in the model about the group policy. There is many group policy, you can test it in the computer. Just same thing, just same steps. Also we have here in the default domain, this domain or this group policy in the default domain group policy. This group policy will implement to all the organizational unit, not just on the CS and HR and IT. If you have 100 of organizational unit, will implement to all those 100 of organizational unit. So now just right click here, edit. This using for sometimes for computer configuration and policies, and you can see here Windows setting and security setting and account policy and password policy. From here you can change the password minimum length, for example, minimum length to 3 or 1 as you want, and also you can make it complexity requirement, can make it disabled. Now you can add the password if you create a user and you want to add the password, just 1, 2, 3 or anything, not a complicated password. If make it disabled like this and OK. And also we have something here, account logout policy. Just double click on it and account logup threshold here, double click on it. Here it is 0, that means account will not log out. And if you make it, for example, a 3, that means account will log out after 3 invalid login attempted. If the user try 3 times to add the password and invalid the password, not a correct password 3 times, the account will log out. Well, look, you cannot access the account. Try now 3 and apply and OK. Now here go to the user. You can run GP update to implement this. After that, I will try successfully. Now I will try log off and try to log in again. Control Alt and insert. Now I will try the first one invalid. I will add or insert the invalid password. The first one, not correct password, the one time. Now the second try. Now the third. After that, again. Now you can see onto. And now if I try, I make it a right password, CSD Jihan 2020. Also I cannot, because I make the group policy after 3 long invalid login attempts, the account will log out. Now from the just administrator can open the account. You should make this for the user, because you should restrict user, not the user can try hundreds of times. Just restrict user for 3 trying or 3 attempts, for example. Now if you want to open the account or reactivate the account or unlock the account, you should go to the user, Active Directory user and computer, and then go to the CS user, double click on the user and account. You can see here unlock account. You can see this account is currently locked out on the Active Directory domain controller. Just unlock, click here and apply and OK. Now if you try again, the right password CSD Jihan 2020. Now I can access the computer, can log in. And also, there is many of a group policy. I hope it is useful. Thank you very much.